Hi, I'm Dr. Foster, and I was actually trained as a regular medical doctor. This was over 25 years ago, and I would have pursued that path if I had not developed epilepsy due to a vaccine that I had received that was required to get into medical school. Those epileptic seizures lasted for almost 4 years until I went off on my own and researched natural healing and began to implement those protocols. Because of that, I ended up completely cured. I do not have to take any anticonvulsants. I never had any surgery. I never had any medical treatments for epilepsy. I was having 2 seizures a day. But because of that experience, after I received my degree and my credentials, I decided I was going to research natural healing. So I have literally been around the world in the past 20 years. I have learned new techniques. I've used them on my patients for over 20 years. So the next testimonial you're going to hear may challenge you because it's a person who was healed of an infection without antibiotics. And we always think that infections must be healed by antibiotics, but we don't realize that around the world, other doctors are healing infections without them, and that this is more common than we may think. So I encourage you, as you continue to listen, to keep an open mind. This is a real story. This is a real patient of mine that I saw about a year ago, and he had an amazing result. The great thing about the natural healing, what you always see when you use herbs with a skin condition, is a lot of times these things can heal without a scar. And this is exactly what happened with him. So stay tuned, and thanks for listening. Okay, hey. Hi, this is Dr. Foster, and this video is for my friends. And I brought somebody here today, Stephen, to tell you guys about how he survived a potentially deadly infection without antibiotics. So, Stephen came to me about, I think it's a year ago?
About a year ago, yeah.
About a year ago. And he had gotten a bee sting. And bee stings are, for most people, they're pretty easy to deal with. So this one just like went down. It looked like it was going away, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this is how you know it's cellulitis, all of a sudden it started swelling up and spreading on his arm. So he got bit on the arm. Was it your right or your left? Do you remember?
It was on my left. Right.
Okay, on the left. You can like show them really close because there's no scar actually.
There's no scar, and it was big. It was huge. It was,
and it was spreading.
It was spreading, and
yeah.
I got a little concerned, so I went to the doctor, my normal HMO type doctor, and he said that's pretty serious. So he gave me 2 prescriptions, and because I know Cynthia, I said, what should I do here? So I gave her a call, and I was trying to explain what it is, and she said, no, don't take those antibiotics. Get your butt over here. I got to do something. So
you had 3 prescriptions.
Yes.
And you brought them, and we read like the inserts and all the warnings and everything else. A lot of people don't realize that antibiotics can cause kidney damage and hearing loss. Certain types of antibiotics can. And they kill your flora, and they can give you digestive problems for a very long period of time. And so if we can, and especially in this age of antibiotic resistance, we want to heal things without antibiotics if possible. And we also want to have natural techniques to use in case the antibiotics don't work, which I've dealt with several times too with people. So they wrote him for antibiotics, steroids, and antihistamines.
Yes.
He wanted to get the inflammation to go down.
Right.
And what was the first thing I did? Do you remember?
Oh, first of all, we used the echinacea. You gave me a really heavy.
I gave you a loading dose.
A loading dose.
Yeah, I gave you 8 droppers.
Yes.
Of a very strong concentrated liquid extract that I have specifically for situations like this where I've gotten the echinacea manufactured super strong and concentrated so that we can save people's lives with it. But the other thing I think I remember telling you was your arm is hot.
Yes.
And what do you do when something's hot? You cool it down.
That's
so
right.
we went and got an ice pack and just
Yes.
started icing it, which is a good strategy because ice will stop toxins from spreading. And he had a situation where he had an infection on his hand years before, and he didn't take care of it. He just ignored it, and streak started going up his arm, which is when the infection goes into your lymph, which means it's life-threatening, and he ended up in the hospital almost dying, and then you had like a near-death experience.
Yes, it was pretty crazy.
So obviously he was not feeling very calm or peaceful about this cellulitis.
Right.
And did your doctor scare you? Did he say?
Well, I said you better take
this
stuff,
or else.
Yes, it's like kind of that kind of situation. So
yeah.
Even that past incident, I had a friend at that time, and she was in the medical field, and she marched me over and made sure I took my medication and stuff.
And she told you your life is in danger.
Yes, so you must take this antibiotic to quell off the blood infection. So
I don't know. Were you like willing to trust me when I said we can take care of this?
Yes, and this was actually my first time of really trying something way unconventional, because we had to also not
normally
only
you just go to the doctor.
Correct. So we also did a poultice type pack with the activated charcoal and stuff like that to draw the toxins out.
Right.
And then she said, not only are you going to take these herbs, but you need to go on a juice fast. Now,
only juices.
You're talking about somebody
only
that's never
diet.
done it. I've never done it before, and I was going, oh wow, what's that going to be like?
Were you like concerned that you wouldn't be able to do it, like that you'd be hungry or something?
Yes, I thought I was going to be real hungry, and she just kind of smiled and said, no worries, you'll be just fine. And I drank a lot of liquids, but I no way was starving at all.
I probably told you like 2 quarts, right?
Yes.
At least 2 quarts, and I told you what kinds of juices.
I said I can drink carrot juice, and then you told me to put some greens in there, like kale,
veggies in there too,
and cucumber, and all these other nice, interesting green things in there, and it tasted really tasty. And she had a product that we also put in there,
essential nutrients,
which is really tasty. Yeah.
You like that? It's a green powder that you add as a supplement to the juice fast, and it cuts your hunger pangs, and it also supercharges your nutrition. So I wanted him to get as much nutrition as he could. Also, the echinacea was pretty strong, but it didn't go down as fast as I wanted it to, and that's because it was a pretty serious infection. So I brought out the big guns. I call it the big guns. That's my blood detox formula, which basically, if you've got something in your blood and your lymph, it will cleanse it, or cleanse it out. So I gave him that, and then I think we need some oregano oil. So we put the oregano oil with the poultice, which is my colon soothe formula. And we mixed the colon soothe formula with half and half apple cider vinegar and water. And I made sure it was really cold water, right? Because he had super hot infection going on. And it's amazing, like the simplest thing can help you. When something's too hot, cool it down. So we put the poultice on, and I told him to change it like twice a day. And so that colon soothe formula has got charcoal and clay and some mucilaginous herbs like cyprium and things. So that makes a good poultice, and some herbs. So you put a poultice on, a drawing poultice, to suck toxins out, basically. So this is a topical that he put on his arm, and then we covered it with gauze, and then we put like an ace bandage over it. And then I think I Reiki'd your arm, right?
Yeah, we did some energetic
I sent
work.
Reiki up your arm. We started laughing. And I said, by the way, you're not leaving until you're okay, until I know you're okay, until this thing starts shrinking, right? Because my philosophy is if we can get whatever it is to shrink, then we can continue, right? So, after about an hour, so I'm reading it because I wrote it down for a website because it was such a dramatic case. And we took pictures of it too, which I'm going to show at the end of what it looked like. So we put Germ Shield on too to take away the itching because it was itching, right?
It was itching like crazy.
Yeah, so this is like a diluted tea tree oil and some peppermint, and those things help itching when you've got something hot, itchy, rash, whatever. So we put the Germ Shield on there, which is already diluted, so that you can just put it right on. Then he had to change the poultice twice a day. After about an hour, the swelling had gone down to about half its size. So we knew, I mean, even I was like, this was my kind of my first case of cellulitis, and I'm like, like when you're a doctor, that like people can get like things chopped off when this happens. So I'm like, if this doesn't start going down, you can go to the emergency room. I gave him that option. I'm like, but let's just, let's do this. Let's see what happens. So I did the juice fast, and I gave him colon cleansing formulas, because not only do you want the charcoal on the infection, but you want that inside your body to draw out whatever toxins are feeding that infection. And believe it or not, your insides, the toxins on the inside, can feed an infection in your skin, which is what was happening with him. This is super, super important to know, because when you put that charcoal inside your body internally, you just like shook it up with water, right?
Yeah, and
or
also
juice.
tried it even with the pill form, but I did both.
Oh, right, because I have the colon detox caps, right?
Right.
Yeah, and then he took the Vibrant Colon, and he took the essential nutrients. And let's see, on day 1, were you like super hungry?
No, that was the weird part, because you know
probably
I like to
scared
eat.
about what was going on. You were like,
Yeah. I was just kind of intimidated, because I've never done anything like a juice fast.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, wow, how's that work?
Did you buy juice, or did you?
No, I actually had
make
a juicer and ground up. You know, it grinds up the vegetables.
So you
and
juiced everything yourself.
Yes.
Wow. Because sometimes I send people to the store if they don't have time or whatever. But so, wow. And what did you juice?
I juiced carrots, kale. I think there was some celery. And there was one more other green, I can't remember. It might have been spinach. But anyway, I did those, and then the essential nutrients, and kind of switched them around. Sometimes more kale one day, sometimes more of the cucumber. Oh, I also used zucchini.
Oh yeah, because the cucumber and the zucchini makes the green juice more palatable. And did I tell you to add like a little lemon?
Yes.
Yeah.
And even possibly the apple, but I didn't do that much.
Yeah.
I did do the
Yeah,
apple.
because I probably told you to stay away from a lot of fruit juices, because
Yes.
sometimes that's too much sugar if you have an infection going on. So I'm reading my case history here for you guys. Day 3, patient complied with all of my instructions. The swelling has gone down completely. He no longer complains of itching. So it took 3 days. And you did the juicing for 3 days, right?
And one big positive thing is I never had so much energy. It was crazy.
Yeah, a lot of people think they're going to be
God.
weak.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I just had energy like I couldn't believe.
Energy like crazy. Like, how much
Yes.
did you sleep?
You know, that was the weird part about it. I could sleep even better, but just my general energy through the day was really up. I mean, really up.
Yeah.
It was shocking.
Yeah. And like mentally too, because sometimes people
Yeah.
can come out of their depression when they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And a lot of times people feel like they're creative, like they can do a lot of things
Oh, yeah.
too. Did you feel that way?
Yeah, almost like an endorphin kind of a rush type of a thing. I just
your-
feel more up and more
Body's
clear.
natural painkillers.
I just felt really
Clear-headed.
Clear-headed, yes. That would be a way to put it, yes.
Yeah, and I think I also remember that when we read those warnings and everything, and then they said, you know, make sure you contact your doctor if you have these symptoms, and we were laughing, and I said, no, don't contact your doctor, contact me. I want to know everything that happens. And the thing is, when you have the doctor training, you're kind of taught how to fear this stuff, because the things you use typically don't work that well, and that's why people end up getting a finger cut off or something, because their antibiotics don't work quite as well, and they don't use those things internally to draw the poisons out. And they don't use poultices either. So like when I first started doing this 20 years ago, and people started, you know, coming to me with their health problems, I would tell them, like, I would be like super afraid at first, because I'm like, I know the doctor training, so I know like this could go really bad, this could go in a bad direction. And I was really surprised, because it didn't happen. People would just get better, and it wasn't supposed to happen, because that wasn't my training. You know, 4 years of medical school, and this is what happened. So from day to day, patients just get better, and there's no drama, and there's no emergency room visit, and there's no like calling me in the middle of the night. It just didn't happen. So he didn't do that. He just, you know, I'm like, check in with me, make sure you're okay.
Yep.
And he was totally fine. He didn't have any problems whatsoever.
Yep.
So he never filled any of his prescriptions, never took antibiotics, never took the antihistamines or the steroids, and did not have a scar, which when you use the herbs, that's a kind of a big thing. A lot of people concerned about scars, but the essential oils are really good for that. The slippery elm is really good for that. That poultice kind of works amazingly. Let's see, I think on day 7 you were still completely fine. Nothing came back. Nothing went out of control. Right. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh, there's just a little red dot there. That's like, and he said that's where the bee sting. Right. That's where the bee stung him, right? So, so that is his story. Do you have anything like else to add about what you went through? And
I would say this, because of the shock of actually thinking that I was going to get hungry and not finding it out. Now I try to juice about every 2 or 3 days, because the benefit from it is the clarity of the mind, that you just feel more energy. And I mean, I heard some crazy statistic on how little greens and stuff that no average person doesn't eat. Right.
And so their gallbladder and their livers don't work because they're not eating greens, which is what you need in order for your liver and gallbladder to work.
And people don't realize that, you know, juicing is pretty amazing, because there's no way in one sitting you could eat all that food. There's just no way. And when it's in liquid form, your body doesn't have to do any processing. It just takes that food right in. And you know, I could say that if I would encourage anybody, even just try it and just monitor how your energy level goes up. You can't go wrong. Right. And you got to remember, you know, I'm a senior, so you know, how many years have I been living the way I have? I would say that's a long time. So to get back on track, you really gotta have responsible to your own health. You know, and that's what I like about Cynthia. She really, hands down, did more real information for this than any doctor I ever went to. That doctor just looked at me and said, 5 minutes, he gave me a prescription to get out of here. Where you systematically showed and explained and did all this stuff that to me I found amazing, because there's just so much more to our health, which I would encourage everybody should just study health. They should know this is just all you got. You just got your body. And,
like a real doctor teaches their patients how their body works and how to take care of it. And nowadays the doctors are just like rushing you in, rushing you out. They don't even take your vital signs. I got somebody else doing it. Somebody else is maybe even writing the prescription. And then the doctor just comes in, looks it over for 5 minutes, looks you up and down, asks you a couple questions, and you're done. Like there's no more education anymore. So that's really important. And I think you also said you got a lot of energy out the essential nutrients.
Oh yeah, right? I mean, I couldn't believe how much energy I actually had. So now I've incorporated it in my diet, and also the herbs. I would really want to stress that. That's such a natural way to get food. And think about it. You got these, like the tree behind me. Hey, that thing's growing in the ground. It's already bioavailable. I mean, nature made it that way. I mean, why would you want to take a supplement that's probably like rocks or whatever, and it's been synthesized? That's the whole bottom line. I mean, when you're doing herbs, they're natural. They come literally right out of the ground. They're very bioavailable to your body. And to me, ever since I've started moving towards more herbs in my medical attention to the things I need to do here and there, it's been so much better. And I can't even remember the last time I took an antibiotic. It's been that long, and I swear by it. I swear by it.
Okay. All right. So whenever you feel like something's coming on, you just start juicing?
Yes, absolutely. I have found that one of the number one things for like a cold. Man, I'll immediately, if I don't got a juice, I'll go find one in the store, preferably not with a lot of sugar in it. You know, you got to be responsible. You got to read the labels, you know. Try to stay away from the sugar. It's not, you know, it's processed stuff.
Right. Don't get a fruit juice blend. Get a veggie juice blend.
So I've noticed the colds immediately, like you can get like a sniffle or a little tickly throat. You go right to a juice right away. That thing will never get any worse than that. It's just, of course, I use your germ blaster, so that's a really good
Right. Everybody swears by that.
Oh my God, this stuff is incredible. And boom, you're done. It's no problem.
Yeah.
And I noticed, you know, like I used to have allergies and stuff like that. They're getting improved. The stuff just doesn't bother me anymore because I'm taking in real food, you know, real nutrients.
Okay, so over time, do you feel like you've actually gotten healthier?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Without taking any doctor-prescribed medicine?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've never felt better, and I highly encourage anybody, they should do this. I mean, don't take my word for it. Go to Cynthia's site. I mean, there's so much information there. Oh my gosh.
This reminds me, you want to tell them about your shoulder?
Oh, about what
Because
part?
you told me you're going to have surgery for your shoulder, right?
Yes, I got, yeah.
You had already had surgery for your shoulder
Uh-huh.
because you had gotten injured.
Yeah, I had a rotator cuff injury, yes.
Yeah. And the doctor said, well, you're going to have surgery. And you called me and I said, try this first.
Yes.
And we did alternating hot and cold, and we did tissue repair oil.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, yeah, that
how
stuff's
long
amazing.
did that take to work?
I can say this, go ahead and try any other product as far as like your Tiger Balm, but all those people that got all this stuff is so amazing. Hands down, it works better than anything I've ever used. I mean, for sprains or sore muscles, you put that stuff on there and I'm talking in minutes you feel the relief. It's so incredible.
And did you have to go get surgery?
No, well, not for that particular injury, no, not at all.
Okay, cool. All right, so I think that's
Yum.
I'm actually at a park, and I made like a raw meatless meatloaf, and I just want to show everybody because I am writing this cookbook.
So we're gonna pick up the camera.
I might be able to do it. Here it is with little hearts on it. Okay, so I think we're gonna try it.
Yes.
And unless anybody has any questions, I don't know if anybody's. I can't tell from doing this. I'm such a novice at Facebook Live here. But did anybody ask anything? I don't know.
I can't tell.
Okay, well, I may not have posted it to the right place, so it's okay. Okay, so just taste. Let me know how it is. I put it on a bed of spinach with like a cashew ranch dressing. And so this is like a lentil meatloaf that I made in the dehydrator. And this is raw tomato sauce. I think it's the first time I've gotten the meatloaf right.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, your non-meat eaters would love it.
Okay.
Yes.
I think that's it. We're gonna go now.
Yes.
Thanks everybody for listening and joining. I'm gonna keep doing Facebook Lives. So
Yes.
if you guys have any requests for things to cover or health issues that you've had, please write, and I mean, we have to do an episode just for your health problem.
Yep.
You don't have to give all the details or anything. I won't identify you. Okay, thanks everybody for watching.
Yep.
Really appreciate it.
Yes.
And have a great day.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.